Latinos are not a monolith. It's been said many times before, but the more American audiences learn about the complexities and vastness of Latin culture, the more relevant it becomes. As much as it is important to celebrate our similarities, it's also important to point out our differences, to elevate the traditions that our families were raised on. Now, when I saw the trailer for Encanto, I almost couldn't believe it. Disney is making another Latino movie? My cynical brain asked, wait a minute, didn't Coco fill their quota for the Latino Disney movie? And here they are announcing not only that they were doing another Latino led film, but it was about a family from the magical country of Colombia? I was baffled by the boldness of the announcement. It felt like a moment where Disney was recognizing that Latinos are so rich with culture, music, and potential for compelling stories, while also acknowledging a nation that has usually been depicted in Hollywood as dangerous and brutal. I was ecstatic and immediately thought of my Colombian mother, who is the biggest Disney fan I know. She raised me on Disney animated films during the 90s Renaissance and religiously watches all the current Disney films to this day. I've been watching Disney movies with her my entire life, and now we get a chance to experience a film where they celebrate her culture, her beloved country. It was an amazing feeling. It's safe to say that my expectations were high going into Encanto, and thankfully, it delivered. Encanto is a colorful expression of Colombian culture and identity. The film centers on the superpowered Madrigal family who live in a small village where powers are used to help the community in any capacity. Their casita is literally a light at the top of the hill, signifying the strength of the town, almost like a lighthouse offering a guiding help to anyone in need. However, as every movie fan knows at this point, with great power comes great responsibility. And the Madrigal family must appear unshakable in the face of conflict, and the entire family holds that burden of never wavering, even in the face of personal trials. The leader of the family is the demanding Abuela Alma, who received the source of their family's power in the form of a special candle. She holds the family and community together with her efficient system of expecting the best out of her family. Yet one family member stands apart, the only non-magical member, Mirabel, who was never given any powers but is now a witness to the failing magic of their enchanted house. Mirabel makes it her mission to save the magic in order to prove her worth in this extraordinary family. Now, Encanto is special because it deals with a lot of relevant topics in the Latino community and a clever and simple story that makes it digestible for children and adults alike. Growing up, you often hear about being special and unique and how that can be used to bless your family and the hard work of your ancestors. This belief is shown with the Madrigal family who, although they are blessed with exceptional gifts, often feel overwhelmed in the face of crushing expectations set by their legendary grandmother. Mirabel signifies a deviation in the family tradition, someone who isn't like the rest of her family but feels connected to the culture. The generational conflict between Abuela and Mirabel is all too common in Latin households, with grandparents or parents who are holding on to the way things were and are put off by the upcoming generation who prefer change. The film evolves by showing each family member's personal conflicts that they hide from everyone else. Luisa, for example, the mega strong, unstoppable sister, is a standout with a song that spells out her fears despite being the strongest family member. This trend continues as Mirabel hears about the former family pariah Bruno, whose eccentric powers and personality weren't really vibing with the traditional way of using your powers. Abuela's obsession with keeping things the way they are lead to her turning a blind eye to the fading magic. Her minimizing of the issue is a way of appearing unshakable in the face of the community who holds the madrigals in such high regard. This once again reflects a generational divide that is all too relevant in the Latino culture, where tradition and status quo supersede progress and change. I greatly appreciate Encanto simultaneously celebrating each Colombian tradition while also showing that change can be a good thing. The Colombian spirit is a huge part of the movie, with buñuelos, arepas de queso, the classic Colombian accordion, wildlife native to Colombia, and so much more. This is all important since the country is truly a natural wonder. This is the kind of depiction that Colombian movie fans have been waiting for. Colombia es un país hermoso, or Colombian is a beautiful country. This is something that has been said constantly, almost as a mantra to the Colombian people. We believe that our nation is blessed, regardless of the hardships and conflicts that have been a part of it. It's an adamant love and confidence in the country that has been long standing. Being a Colombian movie fan for so many years means I'm fairly familiar with the depictions that Hollywood has done of the nation, and it hasn't been good to say the least. This is a refreshing change that has been a long time coming, and it cannot be overlooked. Something else that cannot be overlooked is the music of Encanto. Now, guys, this is a true Disney musical with songs that signify any emotion, story beat, or new family member. Now, this could make or break the experience for the average movie fan, since musicals have the tendency to go a little bit overboard with the use of songs in important moments of the film, especially where dialogue feels more appropriate. Now, most songs feel correctly placed, but there are a few moments where I felt like we could dial it back a little bit more in favor of a subdued interaction. Now, some songs, however, are a blast and quickly get stuck in your head. Lisa steals the show in the first act of the film with a song that showcases some incredible animated sequences, as well as a swagger that pops out on screen. Music and dance are not only important for a Disney animated film, but also for a film about Colombia. Colombia is known for the stellar Latin music and some of the most well-known dancers in the world. This is a part of the film that I felt almost kind of had to be in abundance. It feels right to celebrate the best way Colombianos know how. Now, overall, Encanto is a blast, a cultural spectacle of music, magic, identity, and the family spirit. This is a refreshing take on a traditional Disney animated musical. Latinos have all kinds of stories, traditions, and folklore. There is a world rich for future movies, shows, and any on screen developments. There are nations all across Latin America with artists, innovators, and storytellers. Let's continue to celebrate what is out there. Encanto hits because it demonstrates the relevancy that any Latino family can have with an audience member. Relevant stories are not found on status quo, but on the shakeup of the formula. There is no limit to the depths that the Latino culture can go, and it's filmed with potential films that can touch the hearts of young moviegoers all across the world. Encanto is a bold example of Latino power. Let's hope we see more of that in the future of movies.